So, did Marilyn Monroe really call Jackie Kennedy or not? Let's ask a presidential historian for his expert opinion. Doug Wead is the author of The Raising of a President, The Mothers and Fathers of Our Nation's Leaders, and he joins me by phone from Las Vegas. Doug, let me just ask you. Is this, I hear you laugh. Is it possible that Marilyn Monroe picks up the phone, calls Jackie Kennedy, says she wants to marry JFK, or is Marilyn, dreaming?
Yes, it's very possible that that happened. In fact, I would say if President Kennedy and Mrs. Kennedy were ordinary people, it's very possible that a court would have awarded a divorce to Jackie Kennedy just based on the documentation, the documentary evidence, the diaries, the testimonies, if Jackie had wanted it. So actually, the court of history is much tougher than a divorce court, and there are historians who will never accept this unless the president himself admitted to it, and you're not going to get that.
We know that Jackie knew that her husband was being unfaithful. The book says, though, and we just heard in Zoraida's piece, that it was specifically his relationship with Marilyn Monroe that bothered her the most. Why do you think that was?
Well, Jackie's relationship, the two men in her life, besides her husband, the two most prominent men, was her father, who she loved very dearly, and he was a womanizer. And when she married into this Kennedy family, she was not close to the Kennedy sisters. Her closest friend, if you will, was the stepfather, Joe Kennedy, who was a very famous womanizer. So it's a very curious situation. I guess she, because of her unique experience in life, must have been able to come with terms with the fact that someone could love you and still be unfaithful.
Do you think that it's possible just because, Marilyn Monroe was so out there and in the spotlight that there was this fear that she would eventually go public, that she would talk, that she would embarrass the First Lady?
Yeah, that's what makes the whole story so absolutely intriguing, and I promise you 100 years from now, history will have really parsed it every way it can be parsed. And we know now from FDR's story of his love life, it's only now coming to light. We didn't even know he had one. Now we know that it takes time for the history of these presidents to unravel completely.
I think we'll be parsing through this for as long as we possibly can. It's almost like our own, royalty, the Kennedys and the photographs, Doug Wead, the photos, the perfection. It's almost like, just to learn that it perhaps just wasn't all perfect. Is that what it was?
And it's true with all White Houses. In every White House, including the one I served for George Herbert Walker Bush, all of the stories are not told until long after the presidents are gone and their power is gone. Even after they leave the White House, the Kennedy family is a very powerful family still, and they have their impact and their influence on those who write it. These presidents spend their time in office trying to shape what we think is happening, and they spend their time after they leave office trying to shape what we thought happened. So it never ends, even after the president himself is gone.
It is absolutely fascinating. Doug Wead, thank you. Doug's book is The Raising of a President, The Mothers and Fathers of Our Nation's Leaders. Doug, thank you.